Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajanarandana Yashodanandana Vrajanarandana Yashodanandana Vrajanarandana Yashodanandana Vrajanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Shrotra Shivashishtam Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Shrotra Shivashishtam Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge, text 25. दैवम् एव अपरे यज्ञं योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्म अग्नौ अपरे यज्ञं यज्ञेन एव उपजुह्वति दैवमेवापरे यज्ञम् योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्माग्नाः परे यज्ञम् यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति दैवम् in worshipping the demigods eva like this apare some others yajnam sacrifices yoginaha mystics pariyupasate worship perfectly brahma of the absolute truth agnau in the fire apare others yajnam sacrifice yajnena by sacrifice eva thus vajuhvati offer. Translation prepared by His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them, and and some of them offer sacrifices in the fire of the Supreme Brahman. Purport. As described above, a person engaged in discharging duties in Krishna consciousness is also called a perfect yogi or a first-class mystic. But there are others also who perform similar sacrifices in the worship of demigods, and still others who sacrifice to the Supreme Brahman or the impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord. So there are different kinds of sacrifices in terms of different categories. Such different categories of sacrifice by different types of performers only superficially demark varieties of sacrifice. Factually, sacrifice means to satisfy the Supreme Lord Vishnu, who is also known as Yajna. All the different varieties of sacrifice can be placed within two primary divisions, namely sacrifice of worldly possessions and sacrifice in pursuit of transcendental knowledge. Those who are in Krishna consciousness sacrifice all material possessions for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, while others who want some temporary material happiness sacrifice their material possessions to satisfy demigods such as Indra, the sun god, etc. And others who are impersonalists sacrifice their identity by merging into the existence of impersonal Brahman. The demigods are powerful living entities appointed by the Supreme Lord for the maintenance and supervision of all material functions like heating, watering, and lighting of the universe. Those who are interested in material benefits worship the demigods by various sacrifices according to the Vedic rituals. They are called Bhav Ishwaravadi, or believers in many gods. Others who worship the impersonal feature of the Absolute Truth and regard the forms of the demigods as temporary, sacrifice their individual selves in the supreme fire and thus end their individual existences by merging into the existence of the Supreme. Such impersonalists sacrifice their time in philosophical speculation to understand the transcendental nature of the Supreme. In other words, the fruity workers sacrifice their material possessions for material enjoyment, whereas the impersonalist sacrifices material designations with a view to merging into the existence of the Supreme. For the impersonalist, the fire altar of sacrifice is the Supreme Brahman, and the offering is the self being consumed by the fire of Brahman. The Krishna conscious person, like Arjuna, however, sacrifices everything for the satisfaction of Krishna, and thus all his material possessions as well as his own self, everything is sacrificed for Krishna. Thus he is the first class yogi, but he does not lose his individual existence. Om Jnanathimiranthasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shritaf Padagamanam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So as we have been discussing yajna, sacrificing our possessions, our very self unto the Supreme is termed as yajna. The center point is, as Srila Prabhupada says, to satisfy Vishnu. For all yajnas, that is a common thing. To satisfy Vishnu, sacrificing something to satisfy Vishnu is the common thing for all sacrifices. But according to different levels of consciousness, different worldview of different people, they will perform this yajna in little different ways, and these little different ways will lead to very different goals. Not just anybody who does yajna attains the similar thing. Very different things. So, though the central point is Vishnu, but the whole understanding what we have, the worldview, that is what will define our destination. So therefore it is very important to have the worldview in alignment with Krishna's view. Our worldview should be as Krishna's view. Then we will be rightly situated. If our worldview, our understanding is not in alignment with Krishna, then we will be in this room somewhere. We will not be able to place in Krishna's lotus feet. So therefore, this is most important thing. Sambandha Gyan. Sambandha Gyan. What is what? What is relationship between everything? Relationship between Krishna and us, relationship between Krishna and material nature, relationship between material nature and us. All these details should be very nicely understood. Therefore, all the scriptures, they very much emphasize on this. That's the very purpose. All the scriptures, all the knowledge divided can be, the knowledge of the scriptures can be divided into three main sections. Sambandha Gyan, Abhideya and Prayojan. Sambandha Gyan is to know the nature of absolute truth and the nature of components of absolute truth. Energy, that means we, internal energy, material world, internal, marginal and external energy. Then its relationship with Krishna, Krishna's nature, absolute truth, nature. All that thing is called Sambandha Gyan. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, to Sanatana Goswami, Sanatana Shiksha, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very systematically describes these three aspects: Sambandha Gyan, Abhideya and Prayojan. If we are situated in Sambandha Gyan properly, then our Abhideya will be right. Abhideya means the process to attain the ultimate destination. Sambandha Gyan establishes everything, what is what, in the relationship. And then from that arrives what is the goal of life. What we should, what is our destination? What is ultimate destination of all of us? Desired destination. And Abhideya means what is the process to attain that destination. And Prayojan means the attainment of that destination. Experience, being there. That is Prayojan. So these are the three things. So, primarily Bhagavad Gita, most of the shlokas, they are concerning Sambandha Gyan. There are in between description of Abhideya, the process also. Like for example, Man Mana Bhava Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mamana Masuru. Worship me, chant my holy names. This is what? Abhideya. Process is described. But then, Mamayivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. All the living entities are my parts and parcel. What is this? Sambandha. Okay. And then there are also descriptions of Prayojan. Vachattaha madgat prana bodhayantah parasparam. So what the pure devotee in the purest consciousness, what they do, that is a description of Prayojan. Okay. So different people, different sacrifices, result different. So here is given basically. Some of them will sacrifice, will do yajna. They will sacrifice their possessions. But what is the purpose? To attain material sense gratification. That is this karma kanda. Next, jnana kanda. They will sacrifice their identity itself in the sacrifice of gaining knowledge. Detachment. Knowledge means detachment. I am not this body. I am nothing. I have nothing to do in this world. But there is no positive thing. Only negative thing is there. I am not this. I am not that. But what we are servant of Krishna. That is not there. That is impersonalist. Jnana. So merging, destroying one's identity, trying to destroy. We cannot destroy. Atma can never be destroyed. But destroyed in the sense there is no activities. There is no activity. Just being there. That's all. This is impersonalism. And next, the highest is Vaishnavism. Serving Krishna. Sacrificing everything to please Krishna. Sacrificing wrong things means just not sacrificing but throwing them out. False ego, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. These 6 enemies, just kill them, throw them out. And those things which can be used in service of Krishna, use them to serve Krishna. Like our Swabhava. Everybody has different skills, nature, bona fide natures. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Use them in the service of Krishna. Whatever we are given by Krishna, use them. So that is sacrifice of Krishna consciousness. So all these things are very nicely practiced in a system what is called Varnashrama system. Varnashrama system. This whole Bhagavad Gita, all this Karma Yoga, that is practiced through Varnashrama. Because different Varnas, different Ashramas, their duties are there, given by Krishna. So these duties are bona fide. They are pleasing to Krishna. And then we offer the result of those activities. Like we earn money by honest means and by the means given by Krishna. And then we utilize that money or the products. For example, a farmer is there, he produces grain, offer that to Krishna. Like that. So that is in very simple way Krishna consciousness. Navavida Bhakti you do, chant, hear, worship the deities, okay, and preach Krishna consciousness. And simultaneously, if one is a grihastha, then he also does his varna activity for his livelihood as per Krishna's instructions. That's it. And if one is a lifelong brahmachari, sannyasi, then there is no varna activity for him. Varna activity is for grihasthas. Livelihood, earning livelihood is for grihasthas among the 4 ashramas. Brahmachari, vanaprastha, sannyasis, there is no earning livelihood. There is only directly spiritual advancement and preaching. So, earning livelihood is the department of grihasthas. So now this earning livelihood, in today's modern concept, it is all has a tinge of sinful activities. Because the very society, present day society, it is demoniac. It is centered, it is rooted in greed. It is centered in forgetting Krishna. It is centered in just sense gratification, irrespective of whether it is pleasing to Krishna or not. Just do whatever you want. Therefore, unfortunately, we are living in a very bad time. Whatever we do, ultimately it is connected to some sinful activity. Right? You work in bank, and the bank invests money in some things which are sinful. Ultimately, the money of that, profit of that will be used by something sinful. Slaughterhouse, is very central to the modern civilization. Slaughtering cows and slaughtering all sorts of animals is very central. And then exploiting Mother Nature, polluting Mother Nature, polluting water, polluting earth, everything. This is all sinful. For greed, not for these things are not necessary for our maintenance. For our maintenance, Krishna has designed that we just depend directly on nature. Take directly nature's gifts, directly, without manipulating them, directly. And that way we can live in a very healthy way. But because we have greed, we are not satisfied by that simple lifestyle. They wanted artificial necessities, unnecessary comfort. And because of that, we indulge in sins, sinful activities. So, therefore, it's very difficult times. What to do? The whole world is like that. So yes, it's a difficult situation. So, one is Srila Prabhupada has given us directions how actually we try to give the whole society a completely new means it's original Varnashrama concept, and produce some models and give the whole direction to the whole world. That is one thing. And but for those who are not able to be part of that system, so whatever best they can do, at least they should Navavidha Bhakti they should do in association of devotees, and as much as possible select your job which is at least not grossly sinful. Yeah, that much at least you should not be. Yeah, very tough to search a job. You are just have to do whatever you are thrust upon, right?
Even one takes a teaching job also. The thing which you are teaching is completely.
Yeah. Teach mathematics. Teach some something like that. If you teach history, if you teach that would be very controversial. How about teaching engineering? Anyway, yeah, ठीक है. Yeah, some connection with simple activities there, but yeah, if we are caught up, there is something we have to do then. At least offer the results to Krishna, and yeah, at least be at least don't take bribe and black marketing. Though actually it's not always possible. Government policies are such that you have to have something black. If you go and go buy in some land, the whole deal is always in two terms: something white, something black. It's very difficult times. Okay, whatever best we can do, we should do. At least chant, be in association devotees, take Krishna Prasadam. And yes, for those who can think in a very strong way that I want to surrender fully, whatever it takes. For them, they can dedicate their life to serve Krishna fully. They don't want to be part of this civilization at all. At their terms. We will be part of the civilization at our terms. We will be part of this civilization to teach them, to preach them, but not to be governed by them, to be dictated by them. Correct? That's also possible. Dedicate our life to serve Krishna. And then within that, one can be afterwards a full-time preacher, brahmachari, or can be a grihastha. But full-time, dedicated to serve Krishna, following Krishna's way. And actually we are under Prabhupada's directions. We are specifically trying to do something very revolutionary. We want to give youth, even though the youth, something which they can take up as a very missionary activity in the service of Srila Prabhupada. Instead of this regular thing of getting a job and earning some money by some, serving some idiot, meat eater, women hunter, and just atheist or antagonistic to Krishna. Instead of that, live in society of devotees, rural societies, rural communities, where we, instead of going for job and earning money and then purchasing our dal and chawal and atta from mall, produce ourselves these things, whatever our basic things. Right? Instead of holding the ear like that, just hold it like that. Right? That's what we are doing, correct? We study and then go for a job, and ultimately for what? Dal, chapati, roti. So we can directly grow this dal, chapati. And then we don't have to participate in all this sinful chain. Very revolutionary. Nobody is thinking about it. We can be farmers. Who thinks of becoming a farmer today? It's tabooed. Even the farmer's sons will not think of doing farm. Farmer will not think his son to be a farmer. You do anything else in this world. You go and steal and borrow and do anything, but don't be a farmer. But farming is was considered a very noble profession. Be independent. Don't be a slave. Don't be a. Actually, it was considered very dignified that we are not nokar. Nokar, if somebody is not having brain to independently work, then he should be a nokar. Otherwise, why somebody should be a nokar? But today, even businesses are held only by some very few people. Others are all employed in those businesses. So that's why Srila Prabhupada used to say this whole model is just make everyone Shudra. Just Shudra. And then you exploit them. You make them Shudra and then you exploit them. You use them. All these IIT brains, what they are doing ultimately? They are serving some idiot for making programs and for some all these YouTubes and all these things where people are going for entertainment, for pornography, and you are using your IIT brain to design programs and apps for them and different things. What's the point? We got such a good brain, but we are using for sinful activities. So that's very revolutionary. We want to do it. We are doing it. We want to give this alternative to youth. Don't think that this is the only way. Get a degree and then go for a job and then earn money and then just sinful life and that's it. No. Come out of it completely. So sometime you should visit those communities. Sometime in your life. We are establishing such communities. Kurmagram, there is one community. Have you ever taken our students for any farm?
Not
visit?
over. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Any question?
I've seen many documentaries. I've seen the documentaries. I understood that anything in the society which is being used.
Anything which is being used?
Yeah, from industries. And this industrial civilization. Everything is just a cycle of exploitation and being exploited. Those who are down there being exploited, and those who are up there exploiting them.
Yeah.
And
That is a law. That is a law of the civilization.
yeah.
It just starts with exploiting us. You just exploit as much as you can. You, for your greed. Because when greed comes, that means you want to exploit others.
And the whole circulation of money is completely built on sin. And there is our story involved in that. It's very clear. Anybody can understand. But the devotees, Prabhupada writes in the purport of and the devotee is disgusted of this material life and material civilization.
Yeah.
Prabhupada writes. So how we should understand that if someone reads Prabhupada books, he understands it, but still he is very enthusiastic in his material life, in the modern civilization.
He is not getting disgusted.
He is not getting this. He is very happy maintaining my house. Because if he is thinking, I am maintaining my family by this, and we have come in a good position, now everything is okay. But he is not able to see that you have earned so much sin and you have given to your family, or we have given to them.
The thing
So
is,
they suffer.
Srila Prabhupada, if you read books without an specs given to you, if you read it without pre-programming, then you will see Prabhupada was for revolution. Prabhupada, yes, progress society, simple society. But what happened after Srila Prabhupada left, then to go on fighting is not easy. Fighting this whole civilization against. And we went through very tough times. After Srila Prabhupada left, especially, movement went, devotees left, and many spiritual masters who also fell down. So there was a big turmoil in the whole society. It happens whenever big acharya goes, there is a disturbance. Because the big acharya, because of his potency, everything was going on. And when he goes, then it's like vacuum created. And his followers feel like, poof. So we went through that phase. And then it became like, don't fight, just adjust to this society and at least continue something. We came in that mood. When Prabhupada was there, we were in the mode of fighting this whole society and destroying it. That mood was there. And American Parliament also, they were saying, if this movement goes on for next 10 years, they will take over the government. So, that was the mood at that time. That we are going to take over this world. We are going to take over this world. Yeah. And because Prabhupada's power was there, things were happening, and because of Prabhupada's direction and his purity, really, things were happening. Devotees could just go to a new place and start movement and people joining and full-fledged, this is all bogus, and distributing his books, like that. But then when we were in a, like in a boxing, when you are, okay, give me some time. So it came to a point where we became like, okay, Baba, it's too much. It's fighting, so okay, put up a good face to the society. Okay, we are not against you. No, we are with you. Just add Krishna, right? So we are good guys. Because if you are retaliating anyone, then you expect that they will also fight back. Correct? If you tell them you are wrong, then they will say you are wrong. Correct? So I will not say you are wrong, you don't tell me I am wrong. So it's scratching the back, both of us. That That is easier. Correct? That is easier. So we came in a mode, don't go on this fighting, it's too much, we are not able to maintain, okay. Shake hands with them. Shake hands with them. Okay, sir. Okay. We are not disturbing you. We will not disturb you. You don't disturb us, we will not disturb you. We will not say that you are wrong, you are bad. Okay, we will not say that. You are good, we are good. Yes. So that's a compromise. So somehow that has now become a prominent mood everywhere. That is devotional life. You be as everybody else and little Krishna to your life. So that is easier, but that's not then what will take us to Krishna. What is easy is not necessarily, generally it's not the right thing. Whatever is easy. Right? So that's there. So therefore we have to carefully think. Read books. Book reading is very important. Read books and be clear that I want to serve Krishna. Then intelligence will be given. What is what? Not difficult, actually. We should read Prabhupada books, we should follow them and develop the mood as Srila Prabhupada had. That is true. And then that happiness that we get by being, yes, we are disgusted. We don't want this society. We want an alternative. We want Krishna village, Krishna's Vrindavan. There is no industry in Vrindavan. There is no. This is very revolutionary. But yes. But then you get the taste of that Krishna consciousness. And then you, this is real thing. So, but you have to go through that phase of giving up that niceties and easy things. You have to penetrate through that to come to that level. That is a little tough. But once you have done that, then you are okay, done, once for all, finished. So, let's see, anybody else may have some questions?
Someone has asked a question.
Yeah.
I am from a village area, and can I convert my land to a farm community, or we have to live in pre-existing community?
Okay. Community means devotees living together, not just farming. But community means devotees living together and doing farming and producing everything, not just farming, but there is other things also. Manufacturing clothes, producing cotton and then like that. So if you have your land in village, you can convert your land, into farmland, and you can farm, you can do agriculture like that. But to make communities is a very different thing. To make communities means devotees all coming together, living there. There is on the society, the norms on what basis we barter or we live, exchange things. So many things are there. So that requires a very, very broad vision and organization. So it will need a lot of training. Yes, it is possible in one's village. We organize the whole villagers and they all accept these principles. But that needs first training for that person to be able to do that. So it's not so easy. So individual. So therefore, better is that one first get trained in some community, and then later on, if he becomes mature, then one can work in his own village and that area and create a community there also. But initially, it will need a lot of training for that.
This Samandhanya, if this clear, then the Abhidheya will be proper.
One thing, we are already over time. So those devotees who want to leave, they can leave.
Today's 30%. If Samandhanya is properly established, and then he will do the Abhidheya properly, process will be proper. general statement comes, I am in sadhaka stage right now. So it is not required for me to see.
You see
right, what is right and what is wrong.
And then how you will be able to
Right now, my
sadhaka, do your sadhana properly. If you don't understand clearly what is right, what is wrong, then you will be misdirected. Means what is the logic? How we can-
My work is just to chant, do some services, help somebody. It's
No, but you see,
basic services which is required.
see, devotion service consists of two things together: activity and the spirit behind the activity. That together makes an activity. It's not just okay, I'm chanting. Mayavadis are also chanting. It's not about cleaning. Sweeper is also cleaning. Correct? It's not about distributing, selling books. So many people sell so many things. So, activity plus the understanding behind that activity, that together makes it devotional service. Not just the activity. So that is not correct understanding that I will just do the activity. And you cannot do the activity without some understanding. Always there is some understanding behind that anyway. So if there is not right understanding, there is wrong understanding. But there cannot be without understanding. Everything will be done with some understanding. If you are practicing something, like I said, you chant Hare Krishna, seeing somebody, there is no need of any understanding. You just I saw Hare Krishna. But if you have to do something regularly, then you have to have some understanding what you are doing, why you are doing, all these things. How can you avoid that? Understanding which goes along with practice. There is always going to be some understanding. So if it is not right understanding, it will be wrong understanding.
He will not go for long.
Eh?
He will not do service for long.
No, he may go on doing it in a wrong way,
Long.
with wrong understanding, like that. Mayavadis are chanting Hare Krishna for centuries.
He may do wrong services, but I will prove it. He will do wrong services whole life also. He can do brahmachari also, he can do sannyas also.
Yeah, there are sannyasis, brahmacharis, Mayavadis, sannyasis, brahmacharis. There are hundreds. You see, Swaminarayan, there is one organization in Gujarat. There are hundreds of brahmacharis. Completely bogus philosophy. Made one person as Bhagwan. And there are brahmacharis. Dedicated their life. But for completely bogus reason. That is possible. People sacrifice their life, they dedicate themselves for very foolish reasons. Communist movement, Naxalite movement, there are dedicated people. It is not that you can only dedicate to a right cause. You can dedicate to a wrong cause also. Huh? Sorry? Terrorists, very dedicated. We are not so dedicated as scientists. They are dedicated. Day and night. So it's not just dedication. It's dedication for what? With what understanding? And you can be also celibate. Brahmacharis. Scientists also. Some of them are so much keen about this. They can be just celibate. It's all secondary for them. You can be so absorbed in that. Correct? Narendra Modi is also. He's so absorbed in politics. He thinks that this is my ultimate dharma. So one can be, be like that. If someone is absorbed in something, then he can be just absorbed in that, and apparently can be above, some things which others are indulged in. So that is not impossible. Like this is Stalin, a communist leader. He was detached so much that when there was a time for operating him, he said, no need to give me anesthesia, just operate. And they did. Big operation. So Prabhupada writes that, he was so much absorbed, he went above the modes to some extent because of being absorbed in something material only, not spiritual, but just the mind is concentrated on something so much that you become oblivious of certain other things. That is possible. Okay.
One question.
Yeah.
Like Prabhu, you said generally in Vedic society to be a servant, it was not considered to be a very dignified position, respected position.
No, not dignified in that way. If one who should, like the labor, who should be the labor? If one can be a Brahmana, then Brahmana. If one can be a Kshatriya, then be a Kshatriya. If one can be a Vaishya, then be a Vaishya. If you cannot be a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, then be a Shudra. But not that they were seen not from the other's perspective, from one's own perspective. If I can do something that is from the sense of contribution, okay, let me contribute in this way if I can. Because general assistant is, because I cannot do this thing, okay, at least I can do this. So from the contribution point, we want to contribute the best to the society. In that sense, I should contribute the best. So that is the best. But if I cannot do all that thing, then okay, I will contribute that. So, getting employed, okay, that's, if one doesn't have that intelligence, therefore it does. So from the material point of view, there is definitely a difference. A Brahmana and a Shudra. Material point of view, there is definitely a difference. It's not that, yes, it's all just a matter of choice. One be a Brahmana, one be a Vaishya. It's not like that. It's gunas. They have that capability to do that. But from a spiritual point of view, everybody can advance. So nobody is hated. Material quality we got because of our previous karma. Okay. So it was not like, I am a Shudra, I am a laborer. Not like that. Yes, this is my karma, I am a laborer. What is? So what? Everyone has to work according to their swabhava. So this is my swabhava. Yes. Materially, I am not so intelligent because of the okay. But still, I can render my work as a labor. Okay. And if the whole society is centered around serving Krishna, then everybody is getting connected to Krishna. So therefore there is no loss. And society also will not look down upon anyone like that. But definitely it is there that, for example, if a respect has to be given, okay, then it's not that everybody is same in that sense. No need to give respect to a Brahmana. Suppose there is a teacher and a student. A student should give respect to teacher or not? For his own good. Correct? So respect means there is understanding that I am lower and he is higher. Then only there is a logic of giving respect. Correct? So similarly in the Vedic society there is hierarchy. It is not that everybody is same, there is no need of respecting someone and someone by someone. No, there is a very hierarchy. There is Brahmana, the most worshipable by everyone. The Kshatriyas. So they are very clear, distinct hierarchies there. Not artificially trying to make everyone equal. But in spite of that hierarchy, there is not that anyone is unnecessarily looked down upon, hated, exploited. This modern people are unable to combine these two things. They think if there is a hierarchy, there will be exploitation. Correct? So better have no hierarchy. That is the modern way of thinking. The moment you have hierarchy, there will be exploitation. Therefore, teacher is also as good as a student. Teacher cannot chastise. That is what is modern way of thinking. No need to namaskar or anything. So teachers are like facilitators. That's the modern concept. Everybody, what is there in the good in them, teacher is just facilitating to bring it. He should not take an absolute position, higher position. That is a modern concept. The bogus concept. Teacher means he's higher, he knows better, therefore he's a teacher. Correct? And the student is lower, he does not know. Therefore you should go down. Yes, sir, I don't know. Shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapannam. I don't know. I bow down to you. I respect you. Correct? And then why teacher should exploit him? That is not at all a culture. He understands that I am a teacher, my knowledge is coming from Krishna, it is not my own goodness, it is not my own power, it is simply a gift. And it is my duty to help him to come up on behalf of Krishna. If I exploit, that is not what Krishna wants me to do. I am not doing it for myself. I am taking a position of teacher on behalf of Krishna. Basically, I am also servant, he is also servant. So Brahmana is the most servant attitude. That becomes a Brahmana. So you see, both things are there. Hierarchy is there. At the same time, equality is also there. Respect for everyone is there, but at the same time, there is a gradation also. Who will teach whom? Otherwise, if everything is equal, then anybody will come. My view, I don't think this is correct. This is correct. You are a Brahmana, okay, but I think like this. This is what is happening today. There is no one to accept. Okay, this is Shastra. Whatever it said here. No, I have my own opinion. What is this nonsense? No, Krishna's opinion, Shastra's opinion. That is right, not your opinion. Correct? Okay.
One more, someone else. Yes, Prabhuji, Brahmachari is included in Shudra. How can we understand this? And can you throw some light on the varnas of a sannyasi?
Okay. So, Brahmachari is a part of ashrama. So there are 4 ashramas and then there are 4 varnas. Ashramas means our stage in our life, age-wise. According to that age, different activities. That constitutes ashram. So Brahmachari is the first stage in our life. In everyone's life, as we pass through different stages, that is called ashram. Okay? So the first stage is Brahmachari life. Brahmachari life means the stage of getting education by putting yourself under the shelter of a guru. That is the first stage. Okay? Then next stage is having got this primary education, basic things. Then, for those who are not able to become sannyasis directly, become preachers, they have some attachment towards family life. For them, there is next ashram, grihastha ashram. There, you accept a wife and beget children and live in a very earn your livelihood, maintain family, and maintain all other ashramas also, and lead a very pure life and practice spiritual life at the same time. That is the next level. Then, once the children are grown up, then again you give up earning money, and that again focus on practicing austerity to prepare for your final exam, death. That is vanaprastha. Okay? And then, only for those who become so advanced in spiritual life that they are naturally now very detached, naturally, not practicing. They are perfect in renunciation and enlightened that they can help others. They become sannyasis. So these are stages. Varna means how society will have material needs. Correct. All these material needs need to be produced or fulfilled. Different individuals will have different swabhava, propensities. So therefore, different material needs are assigned to different individuals according to their swabhava. So this department of fulfilling material needs are work of grahasthas. Among the ashramas at this stage, those who are in the grahastha, because brahmachari, vanaprastha, sannyasis, they are not meant for fulfilling the material needs, for procuring, producing the material needs of society. They are three out of the 4 ashramas, 3 are meant for only spiritual activities. So material activities, varna, is only for grihasthas. So a brahmachari is trained in the philosophy of life and then also in the varna training. Then he becomes grihastha and then he takes up his varna. Okay, and then once he goes to vanaprastha, again varna is not practiced. Varna means livelihood, producing material necessities and by that earning a livelihood. Okay, so generally a person who stays brahmachari forever, one is brahmachari initially. So initially when one is a brahmachari, he is like a student. Okay, so when he is a student, so out of the 4 varnas, those who are Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya Swabhava, they only need formal Vedic education. Formal means studying the Vedic texts directly. That is called formal. Informal means that Vedic texts are explained, elaborated by someone, and we hear, and by that we understand the meaning of the Shastra. That is informal. Okay. So formal Vedic teaching was meant for 3: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. The Shudras, because the Shudras, and whenever we are talking of these varnas, we are talking in terms of the guna and karma, not necessarily by birth. Because even if one is born in a particular family, especially today, there is no samskara, so birth is generally not necessarily the indicative of the varna. It can be the other way also. So ultimate decision will be taken by the guna. Okay. So one who is having by guna Shudra quality, so because of the particular modes with which he is conditioned, he generally is not fit to formally study Vedas in depth, the Siddhanta, the principles, the philosophy, and all different possible wrong things what can arrive and cut them. That is generally not possible for a person with a Shudra mentality. But he also needs to be trained in Shastras, everybody, but informally. Okay. Among the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya also, Brahmanas will be trained in the formal education very thoroughly. But Vaishyas will not be trained so thoroughly in Shastras. They will be only trained to some extent, pertaining to their particular varna only. So there is relation in that also. So generally, this formal Vedic training, that is Gurukula, going to Gurukula, this brahmachari life specifically refers to when you go to Gurukula, live under the Guru, in the ashram of the Guru. Gurukule brahmachari Gurukule vasantanto puroritam. So that is specially meant for those students, those children who are having these qualities, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. Shudra, they don't go to Gurukula. So in that sense, brahmachari ashram is not for them. Brahmachari ashram is only for Brahman, Kshatriya and Vaishya. Okay? Grihastha is for everyone. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. All can be grihasthas. Okay? And then, from Gurukula, then one can continue to be a brahmachari, or he can take up sannyas. Sannyas is specifically meant for those who are having Brahminical nature, not for others. Others, Kshatriyas can be up to vanaprastha. Okay? And Vaishyas, not in a very strict sense, vanaprastha. In the essence, they can be vanaprasthas in the sense they detach themselves from family life and business, but staying in the house. Vaishyas are also not recommended in the strict sense. Vanaprastha means going to forest, very severe austerities. So Vaishyas also generally are not recommended for that. And Shudras, only one ashrama for them, that is Grihastha. Neither Brahmachari nor Vanpas nor Sannyas. But Shudras also in spirit to become detached as much as they can. And when it comes to spiritual life, surrendering to Krishna, that is for everyone. Whether you are a Brahmana, you are a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Stri, Purush, Mami, Partha, Vyapashita, Yepi, Svibhav. So this is about the material arrangement, producing material things. But when it comes to loving Krishna, devotional service, that is available for everyone. Okay? For Stri, for Shudra, for everyone. Everyone can chant Hare Krishna, should chant Hare Krishna, should hear Krishna Katha, should serve Krishna. And anyone can be, to go to any level. A Shudra can be a better devotee than a Brahmana. So this is material arrangement in line with spiritual life. That is Varnashrama. And then there is devotional service, like that. So sannyasis are only Brahmanical Svabha people can take sannyas.
Professor, Shudras, they get informal Vedic education. So if they don't go to Gurukul, so where do they get this education?
So in every education is imparted in so many ways. It is not just in Gurukula the education happens. The most important place for education is one's own house. Kula, Kutumba. Mother is the first teacher for everyone. Okay? So, for Shudras and for others also, house, home, Kula. And Kula means not just my father, mother. Kula means there is, uncle, auntie, all. And we learn so many things from our Kula. How to sit, how to behave, how to speak. This is all education. And even spiritual education people get from the house. So they get education from the Kula. Then next, in every society there will be Brahmanas who will conduct discourses, kathas, on Mahabharata, Ramayana. They will lecture. Then people will learn. Shudras also will come, attend those, and will get trained. Dramas, like that. So that way the society, education society was multi-pronged, not just restricted to Gurukula. And education is a lifelong process also. It is not restricted to only Brahmachari life. Throughout the life we learn.
What is the difference between brahmachari and sannyasi?
Brahmachari, in typical sense, it refers to one who is studying, getting educated. Sannyasi is one who is giving spiritual education to everyone in the society. He is very advanced. He is the guru of all ashramas, sannyasi. Brahmachari is the beginner, receiving knowledge. He is focused on swadhyaya, in reading the scriptures, understanding knowledge. Now, if one stays brahmachari for lifelong, that is called Naishtika Brahmachari. Okay. So, now he is no more child. He is a grown-up man. But he also may not take sannyas, but he continues as a brahmachari life, and he can, like a preacher, preaches. So that way he is more or less like a sannyasi only. He is a grown-up man, he is not a child. So brahmachari can be, generally refers to the student life, children. But he is not a children. Naishtika Brahmachari, like Narad Muni or others, they are like Naishtika or Kumaras, Naishtika Brahmacharis. But they are not like children, they are very advanced. They are like sannyasis only. But formally they are not accepted sannyas. So they are almost similar. There is no difference.
To be good to the society, so that society can accept us. This way of mentality of preaching and this mentality of working. So in some Vaishnava temples, like yesterday Shivratri was there. So they did Shiva Abhishek. Many people came for Shiva Abhishek. Generally the temple is known to be as Vishnu temple.
Yeah.
But Shiva Abhishek is done there.
Yeah.
Previously, such things were not done.
Yeah.
Now there
Srila Prabhupada did not tell us to do this.
So, in that case, my question is that is this falling down? I am understanding this to be karma yoga.
Karma yoga.
Karma yoga. Karma yoga.
Karma yoga.
That this has come down to karma yoga platform. That okay, yet karo sriyada sanasi devosi tadati. Whatever we like, we will do, but we will give the results to God.
Actually, it's more like a mixed devotional service. Karma yoga is when there is no Krishna, no understanding of personality of Krishna. So when we mix it with some other things, yes, understanding of Krishna is also there, but that is not pure. Okay, some material desires, material things are also there. But yes, in the people's mind, ordinary people, they may be thinking it like a demigod worship and like that. So, from what they will understand, that's a different thing. Of course, going to Shiva temple, that we see from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's example, that whenever he used to go to South, and he was in South India, he visited so many Shiva temples. Whenever there will be a Shiva temple, he will go visit the temple, and so that is, we follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's thing that we respect Lord Shiva by going to temple. If we are there somewhere and there is a Shiva temple, then we go. But on a regular basis, we don't, like in our altar, we don't have Shiva Linga and doing worship on a regular basis. That we don't do. And yeah, we have to be careful how we present ourselves to society. We should be. It's very clear that we are not here for this all demigod worships like Hinduism. Hindu, what they do? Worship Ganesh ji also, worship Krishna ji also, worship this also, worship that, supermarket of all. So we should be very careful that people should not misunderstand that this is what we are saying. Yes, we worship this, everything.
People will understand that.
So we have to be very careful that our message, because we have to be very careful what message we are giving. We are actually, we can worship Shiva. We can, in a pure spirit we can. But the point is how people will understand that. And if we are purposefully doing it for that people understand it like this, that is our purpose, then it is very dangerous, because we want people to understand it in that way. That yes, Shiva worship also you do on a regular basis, no problem. Then it's once in Bhakti Rasama Sindhu there is one thing that Ganesh ji worship. So one devotee asked, there was Sankirtan group distributing books like that. So they read this, by mercy of Ganesh ji you can get money. So that devotees asked, Prabhupada, can you worship Ganesh ji so that we can distribute books so nicely? We can get so much of Lakshmi. Prabhupada said, yes, you can do. First promise that every month you will give me some very big amount, he said. Some $10 lakh every month you give, then you can worship Ganesh ji. So there's an article written by Jayadvaita Maharaj, because yes, Bhakti Rasamrita is Ganesh worship, but then there are some other things also said by Prabhupada and Acharyas. So in general, yes, that is clear that focus on Radha Krishna, not others. Yes, we worship Shivji as in Bhagavatam, how he spoke to Prachetas, his teachings as Acharya Shivji, that we worship. So we should propagate that, you see, as a pure Vaishnava, how he is teaching. But like Hanumanji also, he is a pure devotee. But how people worship Hanumanji? As a demigod, not as a pure devotee of Ram. Sankata Mochan. He is a personality who will remove our. They don't learn from him how to, he's a pure devotee of, he loves Ram. He's not going to Ram that Ramji help me, do something. Not that. So people don't, so though they are worshipping Hanuman, but they are actually not pleasing Hanuman. Hanuman will be pleased with whom? Who is like Hanuman, who is trying to follow the footsteps of Hanuman. Hanuman will be pleased with him. Similarly, Shivji is pleased with whom? Not with someone who is, with material desires. That's very clearly. Shivji, Parvati asks, there's a whole description there. Shivji's disciples are seen to be, opulent. And Shivji himself is living in crematorium. Putting babut and he's completely good. So, who is the real devotee of Shivji? Who is following Shivji or who is, asking Shivji for material benefits and living in opulence? So, they are getting cheated. They are not really satisfying Shivji. Really, who is satisfying Shivji is Shivji self, Parvati. Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnu aradhanam param. And Tadiyanam, those who are worshipping the devotees, they are the best. So, like that, the reality is that we have to be careful. It can be very attractive that, if you present Krishna consciousness in a little dilution. Suddenly so many people will come. Correct? Pious people are just, they want that. If you tell them, your desires will be fulfilled, chant this mantra, do this vrata, that's it. They are just looking for that only. But Srila Prabhupada never ever did that. He spoke completely against it. So there is a purpose, because this is always is very easy, But then we dilute the things. It's not pure.
But in this case, like we say, we are worshipping like Srila Prabhupada, and also Guru Puja we do every day. So it's like worshipping Acharya. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's appearance day comes. So we worship Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Other Acharya or as a devotee we are worshipping. All the Acharyas we are worshipping. So Vaishnava Nam Yathasambhu is like that.
But in material world, Shivji is not worshipped because he is Vaishnava Nam Yathasambhu. In material world, people worship him because he is a husband of Durga, giver of all boons. So, if we are worshipping along with them in their way, so we will also infect their mentality. So, that's the trick. You can worship Shivji because he is a pure Vaishnava. We worship Shivji, but we worship in this way, by reading about him, his teachings in Bhagavatam. We are also worshipping. We are not saying we worship. We worship Shivji. But if we mix with others who worship Shivji in an impure way, then we get mixed with them. Hodgepodge. So we should worship Shivji by following Bhagavatam. That we are worshiping. So people are not worshipping Shivji. So when we worship Prabhupada, we are worshipping Prabhupada, a giver of pure devotion service. But people are not worshipping Shivji as a giver of pure devotion service. They are worshipping Shivji as Ashutosh. Ashutosh means who is very easily satisfied. Okay? So he will give us a book. That's what people worship. Yes, worship.
Is it true that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to worship Lord Shiva in temple? In his temple?
You see, there are Kshetrapal. In Dhama, there are Kshetrapals. Shivji has Kshetrapal. Kshetrapal means protector of the Dham. That is another function of Lord Shiva. So, when we are in Dhama and there is a Shiva temple, then Vaishnavas also, they worship Shiva, they go there, pay obeisances, because he's a Kshetrapal, he's a protector of that Dhamma. So, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go to Shiva temples, and if there is a Kshetrapal somewhere, then we go. In that sense, but it was not that Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Maharaj he instituted some Shiva worship on a regular basis.
Not on a regular.
No. It can be that one particular, like we in our Jagannath temple in Mayapur, we have a Jagannath temple in Mayapur. That is our Rajapur. What is that? Rajapur Jagannath. So when we got that land, so there is a very old Shiva temple in that land, along with Jagannath temple. So when ISKCON took up, because there is already a worship of Lord Shiva going on, so therefore that worship is done. Offering of Lord Krishna is given to Lord Shiva, because that was a very old temple already existing. So worship has to go on. There is a Shiva temple, worship has to go on. So in that sense it is taken. So if there is a case where some property is taken to worship Krishna and there is already a Shiva temple there, so somehow that worship has to go on. So in that way there may be some instance where that, but it is not something where it is instituted like something to be done.
Generally, in this thing, like Shiva question which I asked, is that I have my understanding that Vaishnava is the greatest Vaishnava. But the same thing I am trying to implement for the people, but the people will take it differently. If I start worshipping Shiva, start doing Abhishek, then what is my understanding, that people will not take. People will take it differently. But many things, if Vaishnavas, they do such things, philosophically I prove that what I am doing is very correct. But the message which people will take is not correct, that is wrong. So this mentality of working, if this will be termed as Sahajiya
Means, no, Sahajiya means one who takes his devotional service very cheaply, very easily, that we are there on a very high level, we are gopis. That is called Sahajiya. This is like this can be termed as not Sahajiya, but this is not being very astute on what is the best way to preach Krishna consciousness, and not a very expert way to preach, to ensure that only pure Krishna consciousness goes there. And, like I would say, it is all like a mixed devotion service, propagating mixed devotion service. Of course, we have in Ujjain, there is Mahakal there. Ujjain is a place of Mahakal. Of course, it's also a place of Sandipini Ashram. So, when we go to Ujjain, we go to Mahakal, we can go. So, like Guru Maharaj also this time when he went to Ujjain, Guru Maharaj went to Mahakal. So, in that spirit, again, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to visit Shiva temples where they are. So we visit, we pay obeisances. I think just the precaution has to be taken that people should not get a wrong message. Have to be a little careful about it. Otherwise, visiting Mahakal temple is not wrong. Now in Ujjain on Shivratri, it can be very tense because Ujjain is a place of Mahakal and everybody is doing, worshipping, and we are in ISKCON there, and what to do. I think that's what you are asking. Because I know they do, correct? They
Other places also.
other place also. Ujjain. Ujjain is a place of Mahakal. Somehow we should establish that we are not like we hate Shiva, we don't respect. Somehow we have to establish that also. At the same time, we have to also establish that we are not saying that everyone is saying we worship all demigods also. We have to do both these things to see how this message. So if we like uh, there is Shivaratri. Like if we are regularly in our preaching, we are praising Lord Shiva. Okay, when we are there visiting temples. Okay, so by that way we send the message that it's not that we are very respectful of Lord Shiva, but then like Srila Prabhupada, we don't celebrate Shivaratri. So that message there is not like we are also one with everyone else. But at the same time, so I think from Srila Prabhupada's example, this is what we see. Just remain very clear. Yes, we are always. Somebody asked why you are not celebrating. Well, this is Radha Krishna temple and we are worshipping Radha Krishna. We worship Radha Krishna. So do you not you don't regard Shivji? No, we regard. We go to Mahakal temple. We read Bhagavatam. We read his praises. So we do that. So like that, if we remain, then all things can be. Okay. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai. The thing is then where it will stop. That's another thing. Because people